Sit down, get ready, grab your popcorn because I'm about to show you the craziest Telnet vulnerability the cybersecurity industry has seen in years. We're already done with the first month of January, and guess what? We have another vulnerability to cover. This time, it's a protocol dating back to 1969, and it's still being used today by up to 800,000 different servers, and it's an authentication protocol that doesn't utilize any encrypted authentication whatsoever. That means every single time that you communicate with it, send commands over it, or if you log in with your username and password on it and intercepted by somebody sitting on the same network as you, and those credentials and those communications can be hijacked and stolen directly from the network. This protocol has been around longer than the internet, and one click, one command executed will instantly give you root, unfettered access to this system running Telnet. What's crazy is that this bug literally sat in GNU iNet utils for up to 11 years, completely unnoticed, being exploited in the wild. -F flag to skip authentication entirely. Now you're probably wondering, like, why is that even a thing? So the real reason is because of pre-authenticated context. So sometimes administrators are already logged into a service and they just want to re-authenticate once more. That is why that this is a thing. But essentially, the main problem that occurs from this is unsanitized input that gets passed in addition to the -F flag, and it's actually being interpreted that can be used to bypass authentication entirely, even if you don't have an already pre-authenticated session. Now, what's crazy in addition to the -F flag is if we see here, we can immediately specify which user we want to authenticate as. So we can land as root, which is the highest privileged user that we've learned from other videos. And essentially we own this machine. We can do anything we want with it. We can exfilling data. We can install malware on it, create that persistence. So that way we can come back on this box and we can spy on this individual. We can do whatever we want with this. With our Docker container running, we can see that we have that build out. We can see that we landed as a user 1000. We're one of the lower privileged users. So what we want to do next is we want to escalate the root. Past that simple command right there, we landed as root with an ID of 0. We are the most privileged user on the machine now, and we have free reign to do whatever we want with this machine. That is how simple this exploit is. It's actually insane. The good thing about this vulnerability is it doesn't affect all versions of Telnet, because if that was the case, so many more people would actually be impacted of this. I don't know why people are still using Telnet in 2026. Vulnerable component we can see here is the iNet utils version from 1.9.3 through 2.7. And those are the only affected versions. Definitely update. Better yet, use something like SSH. Don't use Telnet.